That's scope creep. That's scope creep, everyone. What I was just about to do there is called scope creep. Let's not do that. All right, it's devlog time. I've gotten some really good feedback from actual users on my website, and there's a couple things I need to update today to make the UX a little bit more smooth. So as a reminder, here's the site I'm building, distill.ai. Last newsletter you'll ever need. People can come in here and literally create their own newsletter. It's all LLM driven, so it's a different world out there these days. You can do whatever you want with LLMs. It's freaking sweet. So I want to make the trial emails match the standard emails. And then next, I'm going to add some trial specific language in the trial emails to try to drive more account creations. I'm noticing that people are signing up for a trial, but they're not converting into registered users. So I want to try to nudge them along a bit. And the last thing, I'm also noticing that people are getting in there and they're playing with the product and creating their own pulses, but they're not necessarily coming back, creating more pulses, iterating on them. They are opening the emails. I can see that in SendGrid, but they're not coming back and playing around with the initial prompt and adding more prompts. Like you can see, I've clearly done because I have a bunch of different prompts in here. And so I've iterated on it, and I want to try to drive that type of behavior because I've found out how to get more value out of this system, and I want other people to get the same value. So let's start with getting parity between the two email formats. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. It's not that big of a difference, but on the left you can see this is a standard email and on the right is a trial. The indentations look a little bit different between the two, and I just want things to be more standardized. Because this is LLM driven, I do get a little bit of variability in the output, which is fine, but I don't necessarily want my trial emails to look different than the standard ones. It should be a relatively simple change. I think I'm going to handle it mostly in the prompt itself. So first thing I need to do is just go remember where the prompts are being written out in the code base so I can edit them. So I found one of the prompts here and it starts with the phrase, "You are a research assistant." So I'm just searching my code base for that phrase, and I found that there's actually three instances of it. Found out what's going on. So in these two prompts, the system prompt I have in Pulse Service and Trial Service are identical. "You are a research assistant, blah, blah, blah." And I give very little formatting instruction on these two prompts. You can see they're identical. However, in this one, I add additional formatting suggestions. Format your response in Markdown like so. And what I've found is that this actually results in too much variability. One of the things that the LLM does is it actually includes these words idea, detail, detail, and so on. And I don't really want that. It's just kind of annoying. It's not helpful. And the LLM is smart enough to know how to format this stuff without the additional guidance. So I'm just going to delete that bit and clean that up so that they're all identical. And let me just make sure that they actually are identical in the system. So when I search for the entire prompt up here, I still see, I don't know if you can see that, I still see three files showing up here on the left. So I think we're good there. I think that actually checks off that first one. I'm going to go ahead and do a git commit and save my work here. All right, I'm committed there. Let's go back to our goals today. That was an easy one. I thought that might be easy. So next I want to add trial specific language to trial emails, and the goal is to drive more account creations. So again, here's one of those trial emails that I'm talking about. At the very bottom of these ones, I have this call out here, create an account to manage your distill stream. A stream's actually an old noun when I was first developing the product. I need to change this to pulses, which is the new noun that I've adopted. But in my opinion, I can totally understand why people are not seeing this and taking action. It's at the very bottom of the email. It's just a little bit of copy. It doesn't say anything about the value. I think at best, this really serves as a reminder to me, the developer, to come back in here and update this. And so that's what we're going to do. But for this update, what I'm thinking is a couple things. First, I want to take this call out, I can maybe keep it at the bottom, but I also want to pull it up to the top of the email somewhere so that it's front and center as soon as you open it, especially if you open it on your phone. I want it to be right there in your face, reminding you, hey, you're on a trial, and all you got to do is create a free account to get a lot more functionality. So I need to spell out the value proposition there and help people understand why they might actually want to take action. Last thing I want to do is link directly out to the login registration page, this page right here, so that they can come in here directly and just create an account. So I'm also noticing on this page here, this is the /login route, and I don't have a unique route for this, for the registration form. And so although I have a button here, I think I actually need to create an additional route so that I can link directly to the registration page. So let's create a couple subtasks. So I want to create a unique route to register and then add the trial language on top of the trial emails linking out to that page. So let's take this first one first. Let me get my local server running here so I can actually test this stuff out. You know what's crazy? This is wild. I've had this bug. This button actually isn't working. That's wild. So people actually aren't able to create accounts. Note to self, add automated testing. Good Lord, I need that. My gosh. Fix bug, users cannot open registration form. Wow, that is wild. Give it some alarm bells here. But I love it when Cursor reads my mind and just takes care of the problem that I was going to ask it to solve next, which is so fun. Hey, look at that. Cursor introduced a bug. Hey, I've got a bug. Help me fix this. All right, let's test out its fix to see if it was able to address that issue. Looks like it was, and bada boom, bada bing, we've got links working. Well, I think we can mark this first one as done, but before I do that, look at this. I've got a dedicated route for the sign up page that I can use in my trial emails. Yes. So we fixed the registration thingy, create a unique route. Awesome. Now we're on to the adding trial language, but I'm going to go ahead and do a git commit at this stage. Okie dokie. On to the next one. Add trial language to the top of trial emails and then link out. It's actually sign up, not register. Cool. As a reminder, here's my trial email. I'm going to search for this text right here because this is in all of my trial emails. And I just want to find where those emails are being created. So there's two spots, which makes sense because I know the way that I have the product set up. If you come in, so if you come into the product, the way I have it set up is this initial sample email gets sent instantly, and then there's a daily cron job that runs that sends a different one. And so this is one of those. I'm not sure which one, but it almost doesn't really matter because I want them to look the same and I want to add this trial language to both of them. But here we go. Here's where the email is being created in this file. And in this other file, here's where the email is being created. So this is where I'm going to add some language. So I think I want to add it right above this copy and right below this line break. So I think that's going to be basically right above this paragraph because that paragraph is this guy right here. And same thing for this file. So right above this paragraph. So instead of using Composer, I'm going to try out the chat feature, or rather the edit feature. So I'm saying right above the P tag where trial topic is being displayed, add a callout that says this is a sample email, create a free account to unlock more features like adding more pulses. That seems probably fine, but it's just a paragraph tag. So I'm asking it to give that paragraph tag some more styling, like a border, some padding, a light gray background, and it looks like it added some more things. So I just want to see what this looks like now. Easiest way for me to test this is to copy this new tag and add it over here. So I just pasted that in the other file as well. And what I need to do is I actually want this to be a link. So I'm having it link out to the sign up form. I've got that updated in both places. So I'm saying the easiest way for me to test this is to just run this locally and wait for the email to hit my inbox because I do have SendGrid hooked up so that it will send me emails, but it might take a few minutes because SendGrid is a little slow in my account right now. Looks like the pulse was quickly generated, so now I'll hop over to SendGrid and see when that sends. Hey, look at that. This is pretty good. This is a sample email. Create a free account to unlock more features like adding more pulses. And then when I click that, it did not take me to the sign up form. Oh, you know what? It actually did take me to the right URL, but I just have it linking to prod right now. I'm not worrying about handling URLs for environments, different environments, but that's fine. When I push these changes up to prod, it should work. So I'm happy with this. I don't need anything too crazy visual design wise. I just need a nice clear call out in this email. Hey, this is a sample, create a free account. It's there in their face every single time. I just decided one more thing I want to change. I'm using the word trial here. I'm also using the word trial right here. And I think I want to change that to sample. I think that's just a little bit more accurate in terms of what you're actually receiving. You know what? That's scope creep. That's scope creep, everyone. What I was just about to do there is called scope creep. Let's not do that. I'm happy with this. I'm just going to do a git commit and move on. Okie dokie. So the last task for today, add prompt examples, guidance to footer of all emails to drive more exploration and iteration. So that's going to be for both my trial users and my, I don't know what to call them, my real users who have created an account and are receiving emails regularly. So what I want is with the footer of the email, I want to give some guidance around how to adjust your topic better so you can get more value out of this email. I've gotten feedback from a few people that the emails they're receiving are a bit too broad and better tailored for a general audience, and their interests are more specific in that space. For example, my brother is very active as an artist, and he created a pulse, and the topic he used was the word art. And so he's receiving very high level updates about art broadly. And so, what I want for someone like him is some guidance down here at the bottom, just offering some ways of thinking about creating new pulses. And so, he might be inspired to go create more stuff like I have here, where I have a whole list of pulses and some fairly specific ones like funding events and the tech startup ecosystem. So, I want ChatGPT to help me write the language here. And so, this is actually what I sent to my brother this morning telling him how I'm using the product. So I already wrote this. Let's just use this. But the examples I gave him are pretty specific to AI and tech because that's my interests. And I'm asking ChatGPT just to expand on that and give me some more topics that might be inspiring to a broader audience, not just people like me who are tech nerds. Wow, this is really good. So it actually came up with more ideas than I have. So discover something new, explore broad topics, combine interests, find unique insights. This is so good. I just need it to be a little bit shorter. You know what? In the spirit of moving fast, I'm just going to take the output and try to get that directly into those emails. And then if it's too long, I'll worry about it later. So I think what I'm going to do is use this same styling, this kind of gray box styling, and replace the footer here with that big gray box of inspiration. It's right here. This is the paragraph I want to edit. So I'm asking it to create, basically add all this content. We'll take a look at it here in a second to see how it is working. All right, follow-up instructions. I'm going to ask it to give it the same style as the paragraph above. We'll see how it does. I'm gonna try this out and trigger another email. Placement is fine, but doesn't look so good. Added an extra line here. It's only giving each title a box. I want the whole thing to be in a box. So I'm going to have to massage this a bit, but we're getting close. I massaged that for a bit. That was a fairly manual process. It's hard to get Cursor to get visual design changes just right sometimes. But I'm happy with it. I think this is good enough for now. So new ways to use distill, add more pulses to your distill stream, and that links over to the product. And now I just have basically the exact same output that GPT gave me. So this is what GPT gave me, and it looks pretty much the same. Discover something new, a little subheadline, and then some examples. So I think this is pretty good. Let's commit this. And where's my little to-do list here? Add a prompt. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to add this to all the emails. So there's like 3 or 4 ways that emails get sent. So I just need to copy this over to all the different sections in my product. So just going to copy this whole piece right here, paste that in there. I think I have that added to the 3 spots that emails are created. I already marked this done. I think let's go ahead and do that. All right, committing those changes, and I want to push this up to stage and then push it up to prod. Cool, deployment worked. In all, I'm pretty happy with this session. I got some really important language added to the emails, which I hope will drive more engagement and more account creation. So thanks for hanging out. I'm Andrew. I'm going to keep posting development logs like this, but I'm also posting on TikTok at Andrew Ships, and I'll also do some other types of videos on this YouTube channel from time to time. So give me a subscription to hang out for more, and check out the app. If it looks useful to you, I'd love to get some of your feedback. Thanks. Peace.